The 1980s were a time when many superheroes either emerged or went through major changes that shaped their stories forever. In 1981, comic books experienced a true revolution. If you lived through that era, you might remember some of these moments, but I bet you don't recall them all. Want to find out? In January 1981, Marvel introduced Elektra Natchios in Daredevil 168, a Frank Miller creation that would become one of the most striking characters in comics. Unlike many female figures of the time, Elektra brought intensity and mystery, adding a darker and nostalgic tone to Daredevil's stories. Her debut reshaped how the hero was portrayed, mixing romance, tragedy, and action in ways readers hadn't seen before. The impact was so strong that Elektra quickly moved beyond the pages, appearing in animations, films, and games, making 1981 an unforgettable year for Marvel. Batman. Number 337 introduced the enigmatic Nocturna, a villain who brought elements of romance and tragedy to Gotham's shadows. Instead of a straightforward adversary, she challenged Bruce Wayne on both emotional and physical levels, deepening the character's world. This issue also showcased visual changes in Batman's costume, symbolizing the shift from the classic era into a more modern style. It became a milestone of the 1980s, remembered for showing how innovation in both storytelling and design could redefine a legendary hero. Few villains have ever stolen the spotlight like Magneto did in this issue. In Uncanny X-Men number 150, he stopped being just a threat and became a layered character, with human pain and motivation driving his every move. This complexity turned Magneto into one of Marvel's greatest antagonists, feared yet respected. For fans, it was a revelation that villains could be as compelling as heroes. A nostalgic reminder of how the 1980s pushed the boundaries of comic book storytelling. Before becoming a household name, a powerful mutant made her first appearance in Avengers Annual number 10. She arrived with overwhelming strength, inner conflict, and a destiny that would change the Marvel Universe forever. The issue also introduced another character tied to the mutant saga, making the story a key moment of expansion. With Avengers and mutants colliding in the same narrative, this annual stood as a turning point, proving the 80s were fertile ground for unforgettable creations. With roots in disco culture, Dazzler number 1 gave the spotlight to Alison Blair, a singer who could transform sound into light. This blend of music and superpowers was a bold experiment, reflecting the pop spirit of the time. Though unusual for Marvel, the character quickly became a symbol of the era. Nostalgic, colorful, and unique, the debut issue remains a reminder of how comics weren't afraid to cross genres and capture the vibe of the early 80s. This was the moment readers met Vixen, one of DC's first black heroines to take center stage. With the mystical Tantu totem, she gained powers linked to the animal kingdom, making her stand out immediately among superheroes. Her debut was a breakthrough in representation and diversity. For fans of the Bronze Age, Action Comics number 521 remains a nostalgic landmark that proved the comic world was evolving, not just in stories, but in who got to be the hero. Rather than battling cosmic enemies, this story tested Superman's identity itself. Manipulation and deception forced Clark Kent to question his role, creating a psychological conflict rarely seen in his adventures. The narrative captured the spirit of the 1980s, when comics were exploring more human and vulnerable sides of even the strongest heroes. For longtime readers, Superman number 366 became a nostalgic reminder that even the Man of Steel could face doubts that struck deeper than fists. In this issue, Green Lantern encountered the Omega Men, a cosmic team that expanded the DC universe in bold new directions. Their arrival introduced strange worlds, alien races, and intergalactic conflict on a grander scale. For readers, Green Lantern number 141 was a thrilling expansion of what superhero comics could be. Nostalgic and imaginative, it set the stage for cosmic sagas that defined much of the decade. This anniversary issue celebrated what made the series unique, blending war stories with horror and fantasy. Soldiers faced monsters, ghosts, and even dinosaurs in tales that were as eerie as they were dramatic. Weird War Tales number 100 stands as a nostalgic emblem of DC's experimental side in the 80s. It showed that comics could go beyond capes and cowls, embracing genres that pushed readers into strange and unforgettable territory. The Teen Titans faced their first real trial against the Fearsome Five. This new group of villains challenged the young heroes in ways that proved they weren't just sidekicks. They were a team with their own place in the DC universe. The debut of the Fearsome Five solidified the Titans' rising popularity and became a nostalgic highlight of George Perez's and Marv Wolfman's iconic run. It was proof that a new generation of heroes had truly arrived. So, which of these 1981 moments felt the most nostalgic to you? Share your thoughts in the comments. And if you love traveling back in time, don't miss our next video. 11 legendary board games every 80s kid begged their parents for.